Today we're going to continue with our down curve letters. So yesterday we learned the A, the D, and the G, where we down curve, undercurve. And because the down curve and the undercurved are based on the ellipse, remember the oval on its side, we got ovals when we down curved and undercurved and down curved and undercurved. Today we're going to do the O, the C, and the Q. And then after today, you'll only have 6 more lowercase letters to learn. Okay, slant your paper, hold your pen, have some padding, and let's start with our O. Is an undercurve. Whoops, I said the wrong thing. It's a down curve. And then an undercurve. A down curve and an undercurve. And then a check stroke, just like the W and the B. So let's do 3 O's. Down curve, remember it's called a down curve because we're starting at the top and going down. Undercurve, check stroke. Down curve, undercurve, check stroke. Down curve, undercurve, check stroke. Now the hardest part about the O is there's no slant line in it, so it's hard to tell if you're keeping your letters at the same slant. That's something you have to practice and watch for. When we have a slant in the letter, it's easier to remind ourselves, oh, there's my slant, and that's how we get a consistent slant. So these aren't parallel. This one's a little tilty over. The C is a down curve and an undercurve, except for your undercurve is going to be one of those undercurves that doesn't finish the ellipse. It goes up into the next letter. So start at the top, down curve, undercurve. Start at the top, down curve, undercurve. Down curve, undercurve. Same problem. There's no slant line to remind us to get our letters slanted. Our Q, down curve, undercurve. There's a slant. Then we loop forward and then undercurve. Down curve, undercurve, slant. Loop forward, undercurve. Down curve, undercurve, slant. Loop forward, undercurve. So those are the basics of your 3 letters. Let's try putting them with the other letters that we know, since we know so many of them now. How about we write offer? And oil. Did you notice I did that undercurve? That's a habit I have, and usually that's fine in handwriting. When you're teaching from the book, they don't teach this undercurve to start the letter. How about operate? Let's try hose, because we have to know how to connect our letter. Notice how that S didn't get to run into a slant line to close, but it still looks like an S because I kept my slant here and then closed it to the imaginary slant line. And wool, let's try that. Check stroke. How about we practice connecting the C to some letters without writing words first? How about C-I? Notice how my undercurve just went into the next letter. How about C-L? Down curve, undercurve, loop back, slant. Now see how this ellipse is like this, but my slant line is like that? That's something that I'll take note of, and then the next time I write it, I'll try to pay attention to that so I get more legible letters on the same slant. How about CE? And some words. Chew. And cape. And juice. Undercurve, down curve, undercurve, loop back, slant. How about luck? So when you're connecting it from this side, your undercurve, because it goes from on the underside of the ellipse, your undercurve has to come up, and then you have to go over to start your down curve. In calligraphy, they usually come back and draw a dot there, so that it's called a finial, so that it's for sure a C instead of just a mess. Or they'll put a little line. But when you're writing cursive, that takes too much time, so they let you get away with a C. Just make sure that you come over far enough so that it looks like a C instead of an I. Q. What letter always follows a Q? Except for in Scrabble, where there's QI, and that's the one word, two-letter word, or QAT, which is the one three-letter word. So if you're playing Scrabble and you need to get rid of that Q, QI, or QAT. Now, that's at least 11 points there, and if you play it well, you could get way more than 11 points. So how about we put an S before this Q, like in square. S, Q, U, So notice how I have to do my undercurve and go over far enough so that when I do my down curve, it looks like an ellipse instead of just an undercurve slant. How about we write quick? Notice how quickly I wrote that word. And quiet. How about that stuff you get on your teeth when you haven't brushed often enough or well enough? And squirrel. S. Down curve, under curve, slant, loop forward. Under curve, slant, under curve, slant. Double R. Now remember how my S's and my R's and sometimes my P goes above the midline? That's because I learned and practiced a different lettering style first, and I like the way that looks. I think it makes it look more legible, and so I keep it. How about squirt? Okay, that was a lot for one day. Remember that your down curve starts at the top and goes down. Your under curve starts at the bottom and goes on the under of the ellipse. Sometimes it has to go out and not follow the complete ellipse up so that you can have a C. And sometimes, instead of a G, you loop forward. Practice these letters. You only have 6 more lowercase letters to go, and then 26 uppercase letters, and then we'll start working on speeding up your handwriting so that it's beautiful and actually worth writing in cursive. Happy handwriting.